Hi, we're Journalism Group 1. I'm Madison Malgut.
I'm Lauren Guzman.
My name is Derek Williams.
I'm Kelsey Branson.
I'm Alex Rudolph.
I'm Alexandria Cox.
The Gaylord College came to us facing continuously decreasing enrollment rates. The client asked for research over the issues in hopes of getting a clear picture of what they're facing and also an idea of how to change enrollment rates for the better. The team collected data beginning in early September and lasting through the end of November. We engaged in both secondary and primary research, the main points of which I will present now. Some of our secondary findings were that declines in enrollment have decreased nationwide and locally. And then there's also the thought that anyone can be a journalist, while people also think journalists lack ethics. Some of our primary findings were that students do not know anything about Gaylord, that students are skeptical that Gaylord graduates have success in getting jobs, that personal interest is important to them, but familial opinions are not important.
We would now like to share with you a little bit of background information we found while researching the Gaylord College. There are 13 full professors within the college and there are over 1,000 students enrolled. Gaylord College offers 5 different majors and we are also ranked number 5 in the nation. There's been a 30% enrollment decrease in the last 10 years.
The researcher made both primary and secondary research questions. There are 3 research questions for secondary and for primary, but I'm only going to highlight one of them. One of our secondary research questions was, what do incoming college students think of journalism as a major and profession, and how does that, among other things, correlate to their choice in a degree? One of our primary research questions was, what is the level of understanding of the classes and programs that the Gaylord College offers among OU non-Gaylord students?
The research team conducted secondary research to further gain knowledge on the perceptions and attitudes about Gaylord and journalism specifically. The research team conducted secondary research over the course of the semester. Our keywords that we used for peer review academic sources were journalism and journalism studies. We also used, through peer review academic sources, EBSCO Host, Academic Search Elite, ERIC, and JSTOR. We found that there has been a decline in journalism and mass communication enrollment in the United States. Due to the overall decline in journalism job opportunities, students are not declaring journalism as their major, and students who did declare journalism as their major are switching. According to Journalism and Mass Communication Educator, there has been a decline from a year prior for the 3rd year in a row. We also found through peer review academic sources that there are negative attitudes about the journalism fields. Some students feel that journalism is a soft and risky financial investment, meaning that you don't get out what you put in. So some students feel that they are paying more tuition and a high rate for tuition not to receive a high increase for their job. And also students feel that there is a poor job outlook, that there aren't many jobs for journalism majors. Also, students feel that there are low qualifications. You really don't need that many skill sets to become journalists. And also, with the rise in new technology and times, students feel that there is not a need for a journalist. We continued our secondary research through professional sources, and we found that with Gaylord, there has been a decrease in enrollment rates. While the University of Oklahoma is seeing an increase in enrollment, Gaylord has seen a decrease of 30% in the last 10 years. We also found that there has been a national enrollment decrease. Undergraduate enrollment in journalism and mass communication studies have dropped 2.9%. And lastly, with our professional sources, we found that there has been inadequate preparation for entry-level journalists. We now understand that with the rise of technology and with the rise in journalism studies, there are more skills that are needed just than oral and written communication skills. Students also need skills like web platform, social media, and more. Lastly, our research team also wanted to review traditional and social media just to see the perceptions of journalism on posts like Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. We found that new technology is very important to the general population. So many people don't find it necessary to buy print journalism, buy newspapers, things like that. We also found that there's a negative opinion on journalism education. So we found different tweets, different Facebook posts that just talk negatively about journalism as a whole. And then we also found that there is no boundary between journalism and non-journalists. Anybody can tweet, anybody can write a post and put it on a blog. So that is just one thing that has decreased enrollment in journalism, and people don't find the importance in it. And lastly, most of the Twitter and most of the tweets about journalism through a span of time were pretty much neutral. So we're just trying to figure out how to increase positivity in journalism.
We as a research team analyzed the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the Gaylord College. As a college, Gaylord offers many strengths. It's one of the largest colleges on campus, has many distinguished faculty members, it has a beautiful building with many resources for students and staff, and is an accredited journalism college that is constantly highly ranked. However, there are weaknesses as well. Enrollment is declining, there is a shortage of full-time professors, and there isn't much media coverage. Gaylord also has opportunities to improve their strengths. Its proximity to Oklahoma City, a top 50 market, allows for students to take advantage of the opportunities that come with that. There's also an abundance of organizations within Gaylord that students can involve themselves in and that are related to the majors that Gaylord offers. Not only this, but there's a variety of classes that students can choose from. There's also a lot of technological growth and advancement in Gaylord that presents opportunities in many ways. Also, there is an equal amount of threats. The career outlooks in Gaylord major fields are not increasing. The rapid media evolution creates more room for community journalism and less for journalists with degrees. The public perception of journalism is also a major threat. The general perception overall is negative, limiting the positivity that comes from hearing the term Gaylord College. The infographic also highlights some of the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are talked about. The purpose of our primary research was to collect information that is current and to reinforce our secondary findings. We also sought to increase our understanding of local opinions and behaviors. It was also to ensure that our research can be transferable and trustworthy, making certain that the data collected is accurate and well represented.
We're going to give you a brief description and justification of the methods we chose to use. We used a survey questionnaire and focus group. This gave us quantitative data. Survey questionnaires gave us information to answer various questions that we had as a group. This allows us to structure the questions to meet the needs of what we need, and focus groups give us more in-depth answers to open-ended questions. The research team conducted a focus group Thursday, November 12, 2015 in 30-minute increments starting at 7 p.m., 7:30, and 8 in the Bazille Memorial Library. We used snowball sampling to select 20 participants and 16 participated. Our team conducted focus groups to gain further knowledge about the perceptions, opinions, and ideals the University of Oklahoma undergraduate non-Gaylord students have about the Gaylord College. The study population of the survey was OU undergraduate non-Gaylord students. The sampling population was 2,000 University of Oklahoma students, and we randomly selected 2,000 to survey, and 122 responded. The sampling technique we used was random sampling. The mode of distribution was email, and we did this on Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. The data analysis we collected was descriptive and inferential statistics, categorical, ordinal, interval, and ratio levels of measurement.
The most popular survey findings were that most students at OU have heard of the Gaylord College but lack detailed knowledge about what it offers. Students at OU are choosing their majors based on financial opportunities and personal interests. This research will impact the future of the Gaylord College, its program, how the college will change perceptions, and reach potential students and its other publics. From this research, the Gaylord College can decide what further strategic actions to take. The most popular trends for focus group respondents were an exposure by family members which strongly influenced students' choice of university and major. Respondents also placed a high value on their own time when sorting through a massive number of opportunities from both colleges and organizations on campus. Students also doubted their understanding of the Gaylord College regardless of the accuracy of their assumptions. Students' opinions of the Gaylord College itself were largely based on the appearance of the building and utilities. The following infographic demonstrates the results of both primary studies.
The first point we would like to recommend is to raise awareness and increase positive attitudes and perceptions among OU non-Gaylord students about the Gaylord College. In the data we found, it was clear that personal employment and job outlook were the most influential factors in non-Gaylord OU students' degree choices. These results will give the client a better understanding of how exactly to portray and advertise the Gaylord College so the client can better target students who might not know much about the college. We would also like to recommend to increase positive awareness about the success of Gaylord graduates. Results from the data tell us that OU non-Gaylord students feel it is difficult to get a job with a Gaylord degree and that there are not a lot of opportunities after graduation. Raising positive awareness about the success of Gaylord graduates will show that non-Gaylord students that this is a growing field and that there are many success stories from Gaylord alumni. We would also like to recommend and communicate with students where they want to be met and utilize the news scroll outside the Gaylord College. Results from the focus groups tell us that the best way to reach students is through social media, personal emails, or having a booth set up in the South Oval. We also found that the news scroll outside of Gaylord catches a lot of students' attention and it would be good to utilize for advertising purposes. Lastly, we would like to recommend to conduct in-depth interviews. This will give the client a better in-depth understanding of how OU non-Gaylord students perceive Gaylord as a whole and will also allow the client to expand from the data we gain from focus groups.